Alright, guys, it's DTMP randomness with a story. This is probably going to be multiple parts because there's like four parts to this story. But I'm going to tell you my story of Heather. Uh, it's going to be a four-part story, probably. The whole story will be on my playlist as its own playlist. It will be probably called Heather. But the story goes like this, guys. I was in Job Corps. And my brother was dating this girl named Heather. I won't say her last name. And Heather was an awesome person. Like, she didn't know me at all. She never met me. She never knew who I was. We never talked. But every couple of weekends, you could go home if somebody'd come all the way there to get you. So Heather would come up there and get me and my brother about every 2 or 3 weeks. And bring us all the way home, and then bring us all the way back. She was amazing, guys. I didn't really talk to her or get to know her during this time in Job Corps until one night when we stayed the night at her house, and we weren't going to make it back by Monday morning. When you took off from Job Corps, you'd leave on Friday after the last lunch, I think it was, and then you had to be back before checkout on Sunday. But we weren't making it back. We were not making it back till Monday, and my mother ended up bringing us back to Job Corps on Monday. But anyways, during that night, I finally got to talk to her a tiny bit, not a whole lot. And I really still didn't really get to know her. And then a month or two later, my brother broke up with her while I was still in Job Corps, and I really wanted to get to know her because she seemed like a real sweet person. I mean, she said hi to me. She said, "How's your day going?" She tried to communicate with me, but we didn't really know each other. But I was in Job Corps. My brother broke up with her, and I asked him if I could get her address when I was in Job Corps. I just wanted to be able to write her and talk to her and get to know her. You know, it's like she seemed like a really cool person, and I didn't want to stop being friends with her just because my brother wasn't going out with her anymore. He'd go out with her multiple other times, and you'll hear about that in the other stories that I'm going to tell you. But my brother gave me an address, which turned out to be a bogus address because apparently he didn't want me to talk to her. So after he broke up with her in Job Corps, I couldn't talk to her. I couldn't get to know her better, and I just it just didn't work out. You know, I didn't have that opportunity to get to know her better because my brother gave me the wrong address. I really wanted to get to know her, but I never got that chance until after I got out of Job Corps. And that's going to become part two of this story. And part two is where the story gets a little more interesting, a little more. There's going to be fights. There's going to be drunken. There's going to be blowouts. There's a lot that comes in part two, guys. Like, it's a big, big, big change in the story coming in part two, guys. So stay tuned for part two. But this is how me and Heather met. So I wanted to start out with that. And we still don't really know each other yet. We do get to know each other after I get out of Job Corps. And you'll find out in part two of the Heather story.